everybody, it's Lady Mel. So today's vlog is going to be kind of sporadic. I'm going to answer a couple of questions and comments that I've gotten on some of my other videos, and I'm going to address a situation that if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, I mean on Fetlife, I'm sure you have seen it going on. And behind me is the ever-present Penny and my daddy right there. Say hi. Okay. He's so happy in the mornings. Okay. So, first I'm going to address some of the comments I've gotten from someone who posted by the name of Akima. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. AKYMMA. He asked me my opinion of rape play because this person is very against it. I believe that if it fits your dynamic and you're okay with it, then consensual non-consent is fine. I mean, it happens. It's not a horrible, terrible thing. Some people enjoy it. Some people don't. Some people enjoy degrees of it. Some people like the whole rape experience, you know, completely taken by surprise. Some just like little bits and pieces of it. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Now, don't get me wrong. Rape is a horrible, terrible, awful thing. I just put that out there. But I believe consensual non-consent between adult parties is acceptable. That's just my opinion. They also asked me about pony girls and boys and the motivations behind it. And honestly, I can't answer that because I'm not into that kink. I am planning on doing a vlog a little later on that topic. So if you want to wait till then, that's cool. If not, Google. It's really the best place to find stuff. Good and bad, just be careful. But, yeah. And then they kind of go on about the difference between BBW versus chubby versus curvy versus fat. And he said kind of a really condescending comment that really kind of irked me. Because he said he likes curvy, or they like, I'm assuming it's a he, likes curvy girls, but not just plain fat girls. Well, honey, for the record, I'm just one of those plain fat girls. I don't have big boobs. I have a big butt. I'm kind of pear-shaped almost. So, yeah, I'm not curvy because I have a very small chest. But I don't think there's anything wrong with liking one over the other, and I also don't like the use of freaking labels. It kills me. I'm also not into fat shaming or skinny shaming. Everybody is their own person, and everybody's beautiful in their own way. But I can understand why some of us in the larger categories are lashing out at the skinnier girls, because they do tend to be really, really rude sometimes. I'm not saying every skinny girl is rude. Please do not think that, because they're not. But there are some that are extremely rude and like to rub it in our faces that guys only want to be with them because they have a small waist and a big ass and big boobs, and we don't. Whatever. Now moving on to my bonus vlog that I did on grammar. And somebody made the comment that, well, grammar and language changes throughout time. And yes, this is true. And they make the comment that maybe what we say now won't be accepted in the future. However, I really doubt that bad grammar and misspelled words will ever be the norm. I'm sorry. Spelling and grammar is like a core thing that you learn it's called a core for a reason. And to Rebecca, who also commented on that same vlog, some people can't spell. I'm a terrible speller. I'm a horrible speller. I can't spell to save my life. However, everything I use, be it my tablet, my phone, my computer, everything has spell check these days. And plus, if you're unsure about which spelling, like sense, S-E-N-S-E or S-I-N-C-E, Google it. You're obviously already on an electronic device. It takes 5 seconds to pull up a browser window and type the word in to see which one you're supposed to use. Yes, I'm bad about typos, and I have a lot of them, but you can still look up words. And a lot of times, like in my browser, if you're typing and you type a word and it's misspelled, a little red squiggly line comes up. So you know something's wrong with it. All you have to do is right click on it and it'll tell you, give you alternate spellings or whatnot. So yeah, so that's all about that. So now on to the big crux of what this video is about. I'm sure some of you have seen on MTV, they have a show called Catfish. And it got started from a movie a couple of years ago by the same name, about this guy who was talking to this girl, and he was all into her, and he tries to set up times to meet her, and she puts him off and puts him off and puts him off, and he finally surprises her where he lives, and he finds out that this girl he's been talking to is actually a middle-aged woman with a family and a husband and all this kind of stuff. And so essentially catfishing is you're portraying yourself as someone that you're not. You're either a guy posing as a girl, or a girl posing as a guy, or a girl posing as someone younger than they are, or you're misrepresenting yourself. And this kind of came up, and I don't like to mention people's screen names on my vlog, but this one has really hacked me off for several reasons, so they're getting outed if you haven't been following it on Fetlife anyway. There's a user who goes by the name of Submischievous, and she has been a long time user, like 4+ years on Fetlife. And I used to follow her and think, her stuff she was writing was interesting and she was quirky and whatever. But then things started getting outlandish. Like, I understand that some people do have cancer, and cancer is not a joking matter. Believe me, I understand. But she would talk about going into the hospital and physically assaulting orderlies and nurses, and just her girlfriend worked there and could talk to them, and they would kowtow to her and everything would be okay. I'm sorry, if you start attacking people in a hospital, whether you're a patient or a visitor, there are going to be repercussions. Psych holds with no contact with the outside world, assault charges, people, and just because your girlfriend, wife, whatever works there, doesn't mean that the hospital staff is going to be like, oh, never mind, you work here, we'll just kowtow to you and we'll just take it. No, they're going to fire your significant other, and either, once you're out of the hospital, they're either going to file charges against you, or they're going to kick you out of the hospital and send you somewhere else, because they don't have to deal with that crap. And some of the antics were really, really, just way out there. I mean, everything from attacking the staff to heroically, even though she's on her deathbed, heroically jumping out of bed and saving someone else's life and then falling into a coma. Okay, well, sure, stuff like that does happen every once in a while, but there's a serious problem with this. Lots of people have been doubting the truth behind Submischievous for a while, and many people behind the scenes who will remain nameless have been researching and trying to follow paper trails to figure out who this person is. Now, this person is going to be very hard to find online because they are a computer whiz. They have had remote access to people's computers to help with problems like you normally do, and that's fine. But they've also proven to themselves, to everybody else, that they are very good at tracking down if pictures have been stolen from places or whatever. So their electronic paper trail is going to be really hard to follow. However, the real world paper trail is a lot easier to follow, because as it turns out, it's really, really, really looking like this person is actually the ex-husband of another user. And there was a picture posted with permission, so I'm mentioning it here. Submischievous has claimed to have 3 daughters and lists their names. Well, the ex-wife of the person who is supposedly running Submischievous has a tattoo with the names of their 3 daughters on it, and it's the same 3 names. Sorry, so there's that. There was also a phone call made to said phone, because she won't call anybody. And there was a phone call made to that phone number. And you would think a technophile, someone like her who is online all the time, posts all the time, knows all this computer stuff, would set up their voicemail. And I know not everybody does set up their voicemail, and I understand that, but a technophile like that would definitely have their voicemail set up, and there's nothing there. And the biggest problem that I and some other people have with this whole situation, we don't care if she's a guy, great. If you're a guy, wonderful. You've kept up this persona for 4 years. Good for you. But they manipulated people into feeling sorry for them in order to set up fundraising abilities, and people have donated quite a bit of money. And now it's coming out in the wash that they're not who they say they are. So people have given money to this false person. And that's pretty freaking shady and just terrible, because there are people in the world that actually do need help. There are those of us that do barely make it from paycheck to paycheck, and we could use a little help every now and then. But then you get people like this who dupe people, and that makes those same generous people not want to be generous people anymore. And that just, it hacks me off. And what really, really hurts my feelings is that I had privately messaged Submiss and told her that I would be praying for, and that I'd add her to my church's prayer list, which may not be a big deal to some people, but it's a huge deal to me, because I don't often offer to do things like that. And when I found out that this was all a load of crap, it was like a huge slap in my face. I try to do something nice for you, and I am sincere and honest about it, and you make me look like a moron. And thankfully, I didn't know her real name at the time, so there was no names attached to it, so I don't have to eat crow on that with my church, which would really hack me off. But it's still, it's just taking advantage of people. If you're going to do shit like that, go somewhere else. I mean, why are you going to lie about who you are? And I understand that a bunch of people on Fetlife have sock accounts. I have one. But I don't use it to, lie, to troll or to lie to people. It's more to keep tabs on things that I can't keep tabs on my regular account. There's nothing wrong with having a sock account, but when you have so many and you've created this huge persona that people have paid into, it's dumb. And I've seen the Facebook accounts of two of the people involved with Submiss and someone else, and the pictures on those accounts, and the pictures on Fetlife, two totally different people, two totally different people. I mean, the pictures don't look anything alike at all. The marriage dates are completely different, and people have found holes in the arguments everywhere. And someone made the comment, oh, well, I've talked to her a lot, and I know that she's a girl. Well, it actually turns out that no, this person hasn't talked to her at all, ever, on the phone, never. And I can't find anybody who has talked to her on the phone. So if you've actually talked to Submischievous on the phone, please, leave me a comment, message me, whatever. Because I would like to believe that Submischievous exists, because she seems like a nice person, but all the evidence is to the contrary at this point. So, okay, I'm going to stop rambling, because I could go on for days about this. Oh, and by the way, the totally unrelated subject, don't text people at like midnight 30 or 1:30 in the morning if you don't know if they're awake, namely him. Because it doesn't wake him up, because his medication keeps him asleep, but it wakes me up. And I'm not happy when I get woken up at 12:30 in the morning for no reason. Now, if you're dying, or you need, like you're drunk and you need someone to come get you, or there's been a death in the family, awesome, rock on, text me, call me, whatever. But don't just randomly text after about 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. Because, I'm gonna get mad, because I need my sleep. So, anyway, I will see y'all next week. Y'all have a great weekend. I'll see y'all later. Mwah. Bye-bye. Love y'all.